This is Andrew Wolfson from the Fiercely Independent Network. I'm at the Kleinart James Art Center for the Filmmakers Panels.
Well, I think that Canadian filmmakers, there's a really rich tradition of filmmaking in the country. There's a tradition of people making films in an artisanal way, like really on their own terms. I think that also, as an English Canadian especially, you learn pretty quickly. There's also a tradition of people leaving the country and coming to the States. If you want to make commercial films, like James Cameron or people like that who are made that decision early on. But if you want to stay within the country, you have an opportunity to make films that are really distinct and which reflect our particular temperament. Like, we're really different. Like, even though we speak the same language, I think the temperament between the two countries is crazily different. And I think you see that in the films we make, but also the talent we export.
Since I didn't go to film school, I connected with actually Ron Mann, who was another person who was very influential to me, and actually why I'm here, because he insisted that this was a great festival, and it is. But he was making films at U of T. And so I saw him make documentaries like Poetry in Motion, Imagine the Sound. So he was the first practicing filmmaker that I was inspired by. And I would say up until the mid-90s, I had no real sense of that crossover. I was making these films that were festival movies, and I had a trajectory in mind. And I remember watching in awe at what was happening with Guy, because we were really coming up at the same time. And I remember, when you were celebrated at Telluride, I think you were the youngest master, or you got this award. And I remember just thinking, yeah, that's just so great, that we have this kind of trajectory. And I was aiming away.
And I just suddenly realized I'm really sick and tired of not being Adam McCoy. Had just about enough of not being Adam McCoy. It's about time I was Adam McCoy. And then he showed up. Anyway, words of advice, just do it. I remember when I started out, I hung out with a lot of people and they all talked about their projects, and most of them never made them. And it worked out for me that I was convinced I really wanted to make a movie, and I just did it. So it's the old Nike thing, just do it already, I think. Just do it. Just do it and see what happens. You never know what's going to happen. So I've been independent, but a lot of times, and when I've worked with Neve Fitchman, whom you know very well, and I can't remember if he's ever produced anything.
The Saraband, the Yo-Yo.
Right, yeah. He's a very hands-on producer. He likes to get in there, and you want to kill him half the time. You find yourself putting your thumbs up to his eyeballs when he's napping, and press them in. But damn it, he gets more out of you. So you don't feel like you have complete freedom, but he makes sure that you hammer it out and you argue until you both grudgingly, and then finally just happily agree, and then pretty soon you're taking credit for all the suggestions he was imposing on you. And so independence doesn't just mean working in a vacuum and doing whatever you want, and it's super collaborative. I've never really asked Adam how dictatorial or not he is with his collaborators, but you just have to be collaborative. Yeah, maybe I wonder how dictatorial Adam is.
For more, visit woodstockfilmfestival.com.